Hey guys, it's a relevant term or situation that we're seeing on a regular basis now. We're getting calls from clients that are expressing a little bit of shock and also panic because their timelines have been eroded, and it's being eroded by a bait and switch that's happening on a lot of the sites that have shopping carts built into them. And so everybody has their own strategy of how they go about pricing. We don't have a shopping cart. There's too many variables for us to put in a shopping cart and have you play Tetris to figure out what your costs are. And chances are, if you've never done it before, you're probably going to be inaccurate anyway. So we prefer to have communication, with each other and try to figure out what we can do. So,
well, we feel like we do our best work if we really understand what the goal of your campaign is, and then we can help you because we do this every day.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Right. That's the way it should be. But if you're an ad agency and you're representing a client and the client needs to understand pricing very quickly, well, I can see why somewhere that has a shopping cart can give you that information quickly, or so you believe it will. So what's happening is that when you go into the shopping cart and you're filling this stuff out, it kicks out a price. But if you don't hit execute on those sites, for it emailed to you, that price is not necessarily good. So what's happening is that people are going there, they're getting a kind of a face value of cost, and they're going back developing budgets. Now they're developing, artwork and everything else. And when they come back to these people and submit their order, they send them a formal quote now, and the formal quote's 30-40% higher. So I mean, it's absurd that they would be that much higher, for something standard. I get it if it's like something really unique.
Well, and our quotes do say these prices are guaranteed for 3 weeks, but that's really we're not talking about that. We're talking about something completely different.
But we're not forward facing
right.
a whole shopping cart, right?
That's right?
So what's happening with a lot of situations with clients is that now all of the schedule has been compressed. It's the time is run out for them to be able to go find another supplier. So they have a couple options.
They're trapped to using the higher price.
Pay these guys 30-40% more, or which is happening with some people that we're helping right now, they're just like, screw this, I can't trust them. Let's go find somebody else. And then now we're having to expedite on their behalf, which is great because we want to earn the business. But the topic is really, and you're out there educating yourself, and you're going out to some of the sites that have those shopping carts. Look, send us a quick note. Just say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. How much is this? And I don't want anybody to call me. You can just say that, and that's cool, and we'll send you back. We may have a couple of questions if there's some missing pieces, but we'll get you a quote. And when we give you a quote, it's what it is. There's no surprises. There's not like, some accounting that happens behind the scenes and your price goes up 20%.
And pricing has generally stayed fairly stable for the last 12 months.
It has.
So, I mean, especially on large volumes, some of those numbers can change by, a dime.
Sure.
Quarter.
But it makes a difference if you do
for
big
sure,
numbers.
Especially if you're doing big numbers. But we're talking about numbers that are changing by dollars over a short span. And I personally am getting phone calls from people saying, this is what I thought it was. And then, lucky for them, they come to me and I give them a quote. And in this particular case I'm talking about, they're like, oh, you're significantly cheaper, which was happy for them too.
No,
so,
which is it's a sucky situation when you're a vendor, or you're trying to earn someone's business, and you've got samples out to them, and you've got some pricing there in front of them, and they like your product more than they do others for various different quality reasons,
yeah.
But the budget doesn't hold it. Now they go with this forward-facing shopping cart, only to have to pay far more than what you were charging them to begin with. So a couple of things can be done. Either the budget has to come up a little bit, or maybe the amount of units has to come down a little bit to meet the budget. And those are things that we can work with. But so anyway, just be aware when you're out and you're shopping and you're qualifying the various different vendors that if you're going to use a shopping cart, and I get it, I understand that that's very convenient to a lot of people. If you're going to use that, make sure that you hit the submit button on those sites, that they email you the quote, and you don't have an email from them that says someone will reach out to you, or you have to call us for the price.
Because there's the bait and switch, is the site is posted, right, but then there's a disclaimer that you didn't get an official quote and the pricing on the site
Right.
is no longer valid.
And frankly, if you've got a shopping cart and you're coming up with pricing, you should be able to email a mirror image of that with a quote number and
Yeah.
then whatever the stale date is for the quote, right?
Right.
But so if that's not happening, do that. Don't get yourselves in trouble with a bait and switch. That's not how we operate here. All right, you guys. Thanks so much. See you guys.